Greetings, beautiful souls. I hope you're well. My name is Vixen, and today I would like to share an article that I wrote. It is a letter for humanity. It's a silent cry of the Earth Healer. Let us begin. We are a unique species. We have the ability to be limitless in the things we create and think. We have a special assignment on this planet, and as a species, we are going in the wrong direction. We can't go on blaming the elite, tradition, or that we're being controlled by unseen forces or put under a spell. Those things do exist, but they can only do so much. You are a sovereign being with free will. No one has the power to control you unless you give it conscious permission. We can only blame ourselves for the things we partake in, and we each individually put a blindfold on to blind ourselves, some more than others, from the truth. The truth is everywhere, in us and all around us. The blindfold is programming. The system we live in, we give permission to a lot of things that aren't necessarily good for us, like the food we consume, how we dispose of our trash, and how we measure what is most valuable in life. Most, if not all, programming is based off of others' ideologies, and we hardly check in to discern the information given. We tend to choose pleasure and comfortability, so we'll only look at things at a surface level. We fear losing those things if we look deeper and see things for what they are. One of our great master teachers of truth and how to work together as a species is the natural world, how the millions of species coexist with one another, and how the lessons of giving selflessly are shown to us by the lights in our sky. The harmonious and balanced circle of life. The elements, the seasons, soil, insects, animals, and even the sun and moon all work together in a cycle that works and is everlasting. Therefore, it is the natural order of life, and it exists in perfect balance and harmony. Without this order, life would not exist. You only have to observe nature to understand the true meaning of life and what sustains, and it gives us what is needed in order for life to continue. The order of life consists of codependency, a word that only the human species can interpret as a negative or weak concept. Everything in the natural world is codependent and works for the benefit of all. There is no single entity that benefits only to live for itself. One being will always serve another in a non-destructive way. Nothing ever goes to waste, and everything is given freely. Codependency is not a human-created condition, it's a natural law, and so is giving. These laws extend even outside our planets. Celestial bodies far away from our home even follow the law of giving. They give their resources freely to sustain Earth and its inhabitants. The sun and the moon and everything that follows the laws of codependency and giving will continuously cycle in harmonious stability. It is only when a species turns against these laws and does the opposite that is when chaos and destruction happens. A force is created that seeks to destroy and break down with no intention to rebuild. There is only one species that chooses to go against the universal laws, and that is the human race. Therefore, all the chaos and disharmony we are going through stems from us. Even if you're not a destructive, selfish person, you still take active part in a spin-off cycle we created for ourselves. If we all take part in it, then it will continue to cycle on, because we keep it going, passing it down from generation to generation. You might think it's impossible to change all the chaos in the world, but change starts with you, a sovereign being that already has a place in the perfectly harmonious circle of life. Nature never created money nor anything chaotic. All the destruction we see came from ourselves, and only we can fix it. We have all the power within us to change. It starts with you. Change requires action as the natural order of life. You give freely. Knowledge is free. Teach of the natural laws you learn. Pass it on and let it spread like fire so that we can have part in the circle of life and live in a more harmonious world and stop creating a force of destruction. We keep the cycle of chaos going by agreeing to programming. We are continuously supporting a system that steals your time. From a young age, you are sent into a time-binding institution created by people who steal your time, teach you a false way of living, and prepares you for more time stealing in a 9-to-5 job for what seems like the rest of your life. All that precious time wasted. You don't need to be part of a set education system or the workforce to make money to buy the things you think you need. You are a sovereign being and don't need anyone, especially a system that wastes 80% of your time living to tell you what to do. You have all the resources within, and nature provided with love to choose a more sustainable way to spend your time. You can use the programming to your advantage with your own initiative, but the programming must never override your initiative. We knowingly and with enjoyment support a system that is fueled by the blood of innocent living beings. Billions of gentle, thinking, emotional, loving, feeling living beings are being held captive against their will, oppressed, abused by us, for us. They live and die in the cruelest way possible by our hands and by our support. We turn a blind eye easily. We love our families, our children, and our pets. We say we love animals. We say we love wholeheartedly. But how can we call it true love if it's conditional? We are born with unconditional love. We come from it. The conditions start to come in when we forget our own sovereignty and listen blindly to what others say instead of just listening to ourselves. How can we still support slaughterhouses knowing all the facts there are that we can live even healthier lives without consuming meat, dairy, or use any products coming from abuse? The amounts of unnecessary suffering these amazing animals go through just to end up on your plate is not worth the taste and pleasure of having any living being go through that. No life deserves it, especially not innocent, gentle ones. In the circle of life, nothing goes to waste. There's a balance of equal give and take, and then also giving freely for the benefits of another life without asking anything in return. There's also a hierarchy in nature with the predators, carnivores, herbivores, etc. Death and the consumption of meat for some species is vital for sustaining the natural order of life, but it is done so in a manner that is necessary and beneficial with no zero wastage. If you believe we are omnivores, it's 100% okay to eat meat if you're hunting for it and making use of every part of the animal as our ancestors did, respecting the laws of life. That is what it's supposed to be, but in our lifetime that is not the case. The slaughterhouse has no part in a harmonious and natural way of life. Abuse and murder on massive scales causing so much harm and disease is part of the chaos we as humans created. Remember, we experience things as a collective energetically. We were created for life with our powerful, unique human ability to help tend and nurture it and nature, as our influence is so prolific. Imagine how awesome of a species we will become if we remembered our role and fully take part in life as intended. The earth elements and all species suffer because of us. We've destroyed the gifts that nature provides us for growing food. We've taken the natural soil ecosystem provided to us by nature for producing perfectly healthy food and made it our way. That's not right. We burn down trees and pollute our seas. We have become so apathetic towards nature and the suffering of others. But my friends, herein lies the hope. Out of all the suffering, our guardians and healers are born. We embody the true way of life within us. We may be few, but we know our purpose. Knowing this, we'll receive a lot of backlash and are ridiculed and mocked. We know that we are doing the right thing. In our world, compassion is seen as a weakness and mocked, but we understand it comes from an unnatural state of mind. The love that radiates from a compassionate soul is unmatched and more powerful than the pain and suffering that soul had to go through. Love washes away all the pain, wipes all tears, and mends the most broken whole again. And one day our world will be healed and a beneficial part of the circle of life. Well, there you go, friends. There is my letter for humanity. I really hope this brought to light some issues that we are dealing with as a collective, and I really hope that this inspires change on some small way or some small level. Change starts with you. Be the change you want to see in the world. I would also like to thank all the healers and the doctors and the healers of humanity, nature, and our animal furry friends. I thank you so much for working tirelessly to ensure that humanity and all living things are protected. Thank you so much for tuning in. Lots of love and light from your angels. Goodbye.